All right. Hello and welcome everyone to Diary of a Pawsey Intern and Intern Mentor panel discussion. My name is Fatima Haseen. I'm an education and training specialist at Pawsey Supercomputing Research Center. It is the tradition at Pawsey to start off by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land that we are located here in Perth, Western Australia, where Pawsey is located, the Wajak people of the Noongar Nation. I'd like to pay respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And I'd like to extend that to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, as well as all the traditional custodians of the lands that you are dialing in from, and all First Nation people around the world. So before we head into the panel, before I introduce, we've got 6 of our past interns and intern mentors joining us. Welcome to all. But before we get into the introductions, I thought it might be appropriate to start off by doing a quick introduction to who Pawsey is. Some of you might know, might not know. So just a quick overview of who Pawsey is, what do we do, and then kind of also do an overview of our flagship program, the internship program, go through the structure, how we run the program. So Pawsey is a tier 1 national research center, supercomputing research center, one of the 2, and we are located here in Perth, Western Australia. We are an unincorporated joint venture between CSIRO, which is the National Science Agency of Australia, and 3 of our partner universities, Curtin University, University of Western Australia, and Murdoch University. We are fully funded by federal government and state government, which means Pawsey is a public research facility. You can see some figures on the slide. So we have over 3,000 researchers using our resources, and currently we have 150 research projects, and it keeps changing and increasing, and we collaborate with many different research institutes from different domains, from astronomy, chemistry, life science, earth science, climate science, a whole range of domains. Now, Pawsey is home to the most powerful supercomputer in the Southern Hemisphere. And the name of our supercomputer is Cetonix. And you'll see a little quokka's image on the screen. Cetonix is the scientific name of the much loved marsupial here in Western Australia, unique to Western Australia, the quokka. And you'll find quokkas in a place called Rottnest Island here in Perth. Currently, we are ranked number 25 in the top 500 list in the world, and we are the 4th most greenest supercomputer in the world. So in a nutshell, Pawsey, we have the resources, supercomputers, the storage, and everything that goes with that. And we provide these resources for our researchers across Australia and around the world to use the resources to accelerate their science. So that's what Pawsey does. We also provide support through training, and we have application specialists who can help our researchers to work through their projects. About the internship, you can see that it's almost 20 years on now, which have just successfully completed 2023-2024 internship this February. The internship is a 10-week fully paid summer internship that runs through the summer here in Australia from about November to February. It is it's a co-funded model that we've been using for the past few years, where Pawsey and the projects they co-fund. And over the years, the internship has grown so much. And it has taken different forms and shapes, and we continuously try to change things up, be creative, and introduce new aspects to the internship, and see how we can grow the internship and expand it. This year we had 30 projects with almost 35 interns. And yeah, so based on the funding we may have anywhere between 30 to 35 projects each year. So how the internship is structured is that every year, somewhere in April, towards the end of April, we put a call out for projects. You can see there are 4 key players of the internship: the interns, the project supervisors, our intern mentors, and then of course Pawsey. So Pawsey basically runs the internship and provides the resources for the projects. So we put a call out for projects to apply. So any project that can be run within that 10-week period that needs Pawsey resources can submit their applications. Once we receive the project applications, it goes through a review process, scientific and technical review, and then we finalize the projects for that year. Once the projects are finalized, then we are ready to put a call out for students, where students can apply for the positions. So somewhere mid-year, July, is when the student call goes out, and then students can start applying for the positions. So this year, I must say, we've had a record number of applications. For 30 projects, we had around 660 plus applications. So yeah, the internships is kind of well known, and yeah, from last year 300 applications to this year 600. So it's definitely growing and becoming a bit more challenging to find the best intern for each project. So once we receive the applications and the applications are closed, we try and match the interns to projects based on the project's requirements, the skills and any other requirements. We would shortlist for each project. We try to provide around 5 suitable candidates, and then the project would interview and select the best candidate. Once the candidate is finalized, then we start the recruitment process, and somewhere around October, we try to complete recruitment for a November kickoff. So that's what happens in the background. So along with the interns, we also look for intern mentors. Intern mentors are a very integral part of the internship. They are pretty much the people who actually run the internship. They're the operation level. On a day-to-day basis, running the internship is done by the intern mentors. So we try to recruit the intern mentors at least 4 to 6 weeks prior to the kickoff of the internship, and they help us with designing training and contribute to the planning of the internship. And then we kick off somewhere week 3 or 4 in November. We'll know more about intern mentors. We've got 4 intern mentors in the panel. So through the questions, we will learn more about the mentorship. So the 10-week program, the week 1 of the internship is our bootcamp training. So it's quite intense, where we onboard the interns on day 1, and then straight away they are in training. We offer the core training such as introductory Unix and intermediate Unix workshops, introduction to supercomputing, version control with Git, and a few other core training for them to start off with. And then over the weeks, we also offer other training, soft skills training, science communication, mental health and well-being, and also any other training that can be useful for that particular cohort based on the cohort. For example, this year they had the opportunity of taking Nextflow training as well as OpenMP and MPI. So we mix things up based on the cohort and the requirement of the projects and the group. And at the end of week 10 is when we have our showcase, poster showcase, where interns get to present their projects, and we make it interesting by bringing in a competitive element where we have judges. It's a competition, it's a poster competition where we have different aspect, People's Choice Awards, as well as a Judges Award for the best project. So that's just our internship in a nutshell. And I think we can move on to our panel. So let's start up. This is just a bit of statistics of this year's internship, what it looked like. We have interns across Australia. So for the internship, the interns should be a student in an Australian university. And we have undergrads, graduate students and honors students. Majority of them are undergrads and honors students, and a small portion of graduate students. All right, so let's welcome our panel. We've got Emily, Edric, Aditya, Lara, and Rahul and Prachit. Thank you very much for taking time and joining in this panel. I'll start off by posing my first question to you. Can you please introduce yourself, telling us, well, now we know the names, name, year of study, your current focus. And I'm also interested in knowing, was your internship in your current field of study, or was it a new, completely different field of study? So we can start off with Emily.
Sure, thanks, Fatima, and thanks for having me this evening. Yeah, so I'm Emily. I'm in the third year of my PhD in astronomy and astrophysics. So I am looking at hunting for supermassive black holes. But when I did my internship, I was an intern first. That was in a totally different area to what I'm doing now. It was in geology and geophysics. And of course, then I came back as an intern mentor, and we did a little bit of everything as mentors, overseeing lots of student projects.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emily. Let's move on to Lara on my screen.
Okay, great. So I'm actually going to be starting my PhD this May. So that's going to be really exciting. As for my project, it kind of was similar and kind of was different. My undergraduate was in biochemistry, so that was like kind of going to labs and mixing reagents and all of that, while my Pawsey internship was in computational biochemistry. So I finally got to explore that kind of computational side of my interests, so that was really fun for me.
Thank you, Lara. Let's move on to Edric.
Thanks, Fatima. Yeah, well, I'm currently in my last year of PhD and quantum algorithms. So looking at how to design algorithms for quantum computers. And that was the research area for my internship. At that point, I had some experience in computational quantum mechanics, but the Pawsey internship is when I got to focus on that area that then led on into my PhD.
Yeah, so Edric is right. I hear that he's writing now, trying to wrap up his PhD. All the best with that, Edric. Thank you. Let's move on to Aditya.
Yep, so I'm also in the last year of my PhD. I'm working in RMIT. So my PhD is on the cybersecurity part. Also back then I'm an intern mentor for this year internship. Also 2019 I've been working in the cybersecurity too, working as the intern with Pawsey and the Data 61. So yeah, it's in the same field until now.
Great. Thanks, Aditya.
Yeah.
We'll move to Prachi.
Yep. So all good. Yeah, so I'm Prachi, and I'm currently in my third year of mechatronics engineering at Curtin University. This internship was related to my studies because like mechatronics is a bit of all engineering. And so this was computer science related, the internship. So it helped. I got a lot of professional experience in my career, in my field. But my internship was also like more around radio astronomy. And as a huge space nerd, I was like really excited for it, but I'd obviously never done it before. So it was also a great learning curve for that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Prachi. And then we've got Rahul.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul, and I'm in my fourth year of computer science at Curtin University. My internship was also in computer science. Specifically, it was in reinforcement learning. Before the internship, I'd had some experience with machine learning as a whole, but reinforcement learning was something that I hadn't done before. So I was really excited for the opportunity to start learning more about it.
Great, thank you. So that's really interesting how some have some relationship with what they were doing before, and then for some it wasn't the case when they started the internship. With that, to continue that same path, I'm interested to know what initially attracted you to apply for this internship. I mean, it could be anything. It could be the projects were interesting, or, well, I'm not doing anything during summer. I want to get paid and do something fun. It could be anything. Yeah. So what really talking about the internship as an intern, when you were applying for the internship, what attracted you? Let's start off with Rahul itself. Yeah.
So I had some project experience in my degree, but I felt like I wanted the opportunity to extend on that and apply it in a currently ongoing and real world project. So I felt that Pawsey offered the opportunity to kind of hone my skills over the summer, but also teach myself a new topic, which I thought would be a really interesting way to build on the things I had learned in my degree. So I found that there was quite a lot of overlap, things like developing research skills, technical skills, and even presentation skills. So I found all those things quite inviting about the internship.
Oh, fantastic. How about you, Aditya?
Yeah, for me, I want to get some experience because I'm planning to become a lecturer someday. So I'm practicing from the small things like mentoring the students. So hopefully someday we'll get there.
Great. So that's why you applied to be a mentor, is
To be
it?
mentor this year. Yeah.
So when you initially applied as an intern, for the internship.
Oh yeah, for the internship, because I'm interested in cybersecurity, like previously I worked also in cybersecurity part, and then it's quite interesting back then because like cybersecurity is everywhere. So there's a
Yeah.
project, try to apply and get it. And
Okay.
yeah, till now working in the cybersecurity area, and it's quite fun, not boring things. Yeah.
Oh, great, fantastic. Lara.
So a PhD student actually mentioned the Pawsey internship to me on the last day that applications were opened. So I quickly searched it up and I was just like so amazed because I didn't realize that WA actually had a supercomputer here. And so I read like all the project descriptions and I was like, oh wow, this is really cool. I've got to just try to apply. And I happened to make it.
Oh, how fantastic. I think that last year we had about 350 applications, and to be one of them is amazing. You should give a pat on your back. Well done. Well done, all of you, for securing the position. Edric.
Well, I applied towards the end of my master's, and at that point I had some experience doing this parallel programming, and I found that I really enjoyed it. And what really wanted though to see what that was like outside of my my master's project. I felt like I had a lot to learn, and I wanted to figure out how I could put myself into an environment where I would be able to soak up new information and find new areas where my skills were lacking, sort of keep to grow. And I think as well, I was interested in doing a PhD, but I wanted to know that I could focus and work on a research task, like independently and enjoy myself reasonably, over a good stretch of time. So yeah, the internship was really an opportunity to give that a shot. And then of course, underneath it all, I like solving problems with computers, especially big, fast computers. It was very exciting to get to, do that at a supercomputing center in the state that I live. So all of that together made it a really easy choice to apply.
That was an ideal opportunity for you. Thanks, Edric. Emily.
Yeah, thanks. I guess I'll echo a lot of what has already been said here. I had just finished up my honours year, and I was thinking about research. I was pretty sure that I wanted to go on and do further postgraduate study, but I was really looking for an opportunity where I could sort of extend on what I had already done and maybe try something a little bit different. And for me, the Pawsey internship was this really nice blend of kind of the research side, focusing on a new scientific question in a field I hadn't really done much research in before, as well as this kind of great new experience where we could play with these, really big, fun, exciting new machines, these big supercomputers that you don't really get as much access to in some of the university settings. So yeah, it was just this really nice blend of a couple of different things that I wanted to try out, and the internship was just the perfect opportunity to do that.
Fantastic. Thanks, Emily. Prachi.
Yep. So for me, I was just applying for internships because I really wanted to do some like real world experience. But as someone who's also like known Pawsey, worked at Pawsey for the past 4 years, I thought it would be an incredible opportunity, and I've always wanted to work with you guys or for you guys. So I heard about the opportunity and I applied for it and I got it. So yeah, it was great.
Amazing. I think what I've gathered from all of you is, like, if I summarize, it was that inquisitive mind, right? And also, wanting to do something different, looking for more opportunities. That's where you were all led, and you had the interest to apply for the Pawsey internship. Can everyone hear me still? I thought was there a technical glitch?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit laggy.
Okay, can hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on to the next question I had. What do you think the program did for you, like your biggest benefit out of the program? So you thought, this is what the internship is, this is what I'm going to learn. This looks fun. This looks like something new that I can explore. I'm going to get this opportunity to work with these machines. So that's the idea you had when you applied for it. And then once you did the internship, what do you think was the biggest learning or the biggest benefit? I'll again start off with the first person on my screen here, Aditya.
Yeah, for me, I think gaining the experience, like the real world experience, that's true. Because I'm practicing to meet like the real deadline that no one can get any extension. So I learned it from the intern back then. And because we have a deadline, a strict deadline, and we need to submit there. And yeah, it's a good experience for me to train because after that I'll join my honors degree. So yeah, so I have like fully trained for that one.
Well, I think along with that, I might just add your biggest benefit as well as the biggest challenge. What would you consider as the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is, yeah, of course, the word. Yeah, because we have a short time of month, and back then we have a quite big project, so we need to do the time management. So that's like the biggest challenge back then. But yeah, at the end of the intern, I can laugh. So that's good challenge for me.
Great. All right. Lara, I'll kind of combine both together. Like, what was the biggest benefit as well as your biggest challenge that you faced during the internship?
I think the biggest benefit for me was kind of being pushed out of my comfort zone after coming out of my undergraduate and kind of being in that like professional environment with like-minded peers that were all doing their best, which also pushed me to do my best, I feel like. And as for the challenges, I think, yeah, like Aditya said, time management, you have to kind of keep on top of everything, reach all the deadlines. Because I think towards the end, people realize, oh, I only have like 2 weeks left. I better, gather all my results and make it look presentable.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. How about you, Edric?
I'd say as a whole, it was a pretty big confidence booster, I guess, just in just learning that I could sit there and sort of dedicate my time to this task without, you know, needing to be micromanaged. And I like got to learn, I think, a lot of problem solving skills around troubleshooting new software, like bugs associated with new libraries that I was using. Also just being able to go out and find new packages or methods that you know, were appropriate for my project. So in my case, I was doing a lot of software development, really kind of starting from the ground up. So yeah, I came across just constantly there was something new to learn, a new piece of documentation that was completely impenetrable to me when I first read it. And if I went off and actually spent some time with it or asked some questions, I found that I could actually figure it out. And it was just a constant sort of process of meeting a roadblock, finding some way past it, and in doing that, sort of building up that confidence.
Absolutely. And then that is something that you might not see when you're just doing your course in the university. It's a different experience there, and the kind of challenges that you face in this kind of an internship is very different to that, isn't it?
Definitely. I think it's a very different experience when you're in a course or doing a more narrow project where you're sort of on rails, right?
Yes.
You know, with the internship, there's a project, you have to go somewhere. But the actual, you know, landscape is unclear to that end.
Correct.
Very different.
Yes, absolutely. How about you, Emily?
Yeah, so again, I think I can echo a lot of what's already been said. For me, again, coming to the project, it was a bit of a different field to anything I'd done a project in before. So I guess that was sort of one of the big challenges. It was coming at this new field, as well as all of the new layers of high performance computing on top of that. But you know, that really leads to the biggest reward. I feel like coming out of the internship, I was a much more confident researcher. I thought, you know, I can actually take on this new challenge in this field I'm unfamiliar with, and I can produce some meaningful work and, you know, really hold my own in a room of researchers who do this for a living, and I can have a productive discussion at sort of the end of my project. And that was really gratifying to see, you know, that work pay off, and to be able to share what I'd done with people from sort of all walks of life at the showcase at the end.
Yes, amazing. Yeah, that's so true. Prachi?
Yep. So I'd definitely say the biggest benefit was like the skills I learned. Supercomputing, parallel programming, never heard of it, never done it before. So I love that. Of course, the people I met, like other interns, intern mentors, Pawsey staff, and my co-workers. It's just like so many more doors opened up for me. It was great benefit, yeah. And as for the challenges, of course, like the time constraint, it's like having to do everything in just 10 weeks. But also the other thing was that I didn't realize I'd be solving problems, like solving errors more than I'd be coding. So just trying not to get frustrated, constantly frustrated, learning to like be patient, work through them. So that was one of the biggest challenges, but got there in the end.
Yes, got through at the end. Did a good job. Thanks, Prachi. Rahul?
Yeah, so this Pawsey internship, I think, it's a condensed collection of things that you'll learn throughout your course. So I think one of the biggest benefits for me was the networking, being able to connect with other like-minded individuals, other interns, mentors, staff. I think it's really good to be in an environment where all these people have a similar mindset. As for the internship activities itself, there was a lot of time management. Everyone's mentioned the time management. I think a lot of students have to deal with that anyway. Having to adapt to the challenges and the restraints as they come up. Learning new skills along the way. There was a lot of teaching as you're going. There was a lot of self-teaching as you go along. I think also exposing myself to published literature was part of the reason the internship was so effective, because you learn how to decode the stuff that's already written online.
Yep. Well, I can see like everybody's echoing somewhat like the common things that we would see is the 10-week time frame. It is intense from the start, and majority of you have when you start off your internship, you haven't used supercomputers. There's a lot of learning that needs to happen at the beginning. And then sometimes the project topic is also not familiar to you. And then what we've seen is the growth from the start at the end, how much the interns grow within a period of 10 weeks is just so amazing. And I'm sure you've all felt that at the end of the internship as well. I'm conscious of the time, and I'd like to now kind of focus on the mentorship. So we've got 4 mentors here. So Prachi and Rahul, fresh interns, probably thinking of being a mentor this year or the coming years. But we've also got Lara and Aditya and Emily who've been mentors, and we've got Edric who's mentored for a few years, most experienced, and seen how even the mentorship changed. Maybe I'll start off with Edric. What are the different skills you used and developed during your role as a mentor? And did it, because you've mentored a few years, did you see yourself developing that every year as a mentor?
That's a yeah. There's a lot to say. I think to that. When I first joined the program in its first year, I mean, I was looking for an excuse to grow as really, I guess, as a teacher, right? Because I was getting to do some teaching during my PhD, and I hope to do some lecturing. And also an excuse to work with people doing a wider range of projects than myself, right? Because I really found in the internship I really enjoyed learning about everybody else's projects. Now I just came in with, of course, a lot of enthusiasm, and I have a lot of enthusiasm for just scientific computing and coding. But what I really had to learn was making sure that I always sort of centered the interns' goals and made sure they were getting what they needed out of the internship at that point. So it was really about me sort of trying to guide them towards the information that I thought they would maybe find helpful, right? When you're new to a field or you're an intern, it's all dark, right? You don't really know it's around the corner. And I think as a mentor, you are just trying to sort of shine a light and point to that area and helping them to then take the next step to go there, right? You're not leading, right? You're acting as a guide. And I guess just every year, it's just another variation on that. How can we keep growing that? And how can we also respond to the fact that the program is getting larger? So I'll leave it there for now.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, it's so important because you are the first point of contact for the interns, and they come to you for everything, even from troubleshooting to managing them, anything that they come to the intern mentors. And sometimes your group might have various I mean, the project can be from various domains and different kind of problems that you encounter. And we always say, okay, the first point of troubleshooting is the mentor, and then after that we try to reach out to help desk and things like that. And it's a different experience. It's different set of skills that you develop during your mentorship, but you also kind of develop or you learn soft skills as well as hard skills, trying to help the interns solve their problems. So yeah, it's very interesting. Emily, what was your experience like being a mentor?
Yeah, it was definitely a very rewarding experience. It was really interesting for me, I think, to see kind of all the work that you don't see perhaps as a student, all the work that goes on behind the scenes. So, I mean, for me, one thing that I really came to appreciate was really the reflective process you kind of go through as a mentor, as you at the start of the internship, where you're putting together content to sort of introduce the interns to a system that you're now very familiar with. You know the Pawsey infrastructure fairly well, but you've got to think back to what it was like when you didn't have that experience, and trying to, as Edric said, sort of shine a light along the paths that are going to be most useful to the interns, and then also adapting that as you go along, as you find the interns sort of finding their own niche and working out what they need and working with them to sort of continue building upon their knowledge in a way that's helpful for them, and you end up learning many new skills along the way. I think for me, version
Absolutely.
control was something that I was a little bit shaky on to start with, but by the end of the mentoring process, where we had all our content down pat, my version control skills were pretty good, if I do say so myself.
Fantastic. How wonderful. Well, yeah, Lara and Aditya, let's start off with Lara. So that this year, new experience mentoring, just finished mentoring. We are wrapping up our report tomorrow. So Lara and Aditya will produce their mentor report tomorrow. But yeah, it'll be interesting to know what your experience was like, Lara.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being a mentor, honestly. I think my favorite part and what I am really passionate about is kind of seeing all these different projects and like hearing back from them, because you can kind of expand your own like knowledge as your interns are also expanding theirs. And the main thing that I like to kind of put emphasis on was the scientific communication, because at the end of the day, we're working towards that final showcase, and you'll have a very kind of open panel and lots of different people coming from different backgrounds. And I really like to see how the interns kind of explain their projects in simple terms and helped everyone understand what they did pretty much.
Great. And we'll move on to Aditya.
Yeah, I think mostly it's already covered by the others. But the interesting thing is that back then when did the intern, the way I'm thinking is just like solving the problem. That's it. But when I become a mentor, I seen that that skill is not enough. So the difference is I need to, when I have the solution, I need to, how can I explain as simple as possible to the student so they can get it? So that's, I think, the most different skills that I learned and developed during my mentorship. Yeah.
Thank you, Aditya. And I'll kind of turn to Rahul and Prachi for this. So we've heard about the mentors, that experience as a mentor. So Rahul and Prachi can pick up a few things there. But as an intern, just finished the internship, what was your experience interacting with an intern mentor? Something memorable? How important it was, the mentor role? How important do you think it was for you as an intern? Start off with Prachi.
Yeah, no, it was really good with all the mentors. They were a support system that we really needed. My mentor this internship was Fahad, who isn't here tonight, and he was really funny and easy to get along with. I'm pretty sure we spent weeks like just trying to problem solve, and it'd just be like, oh, it's fixed. Oh wait, it's not. Oh, it's fixed. Oh wait, it's not. It was just back and forth, all of that for the entire internship. And obviously, when we both couldn't solve anything, we also had the help desk that was always there to help us. But no, it was really good having them. I'm really glad we had them. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Rahul, I don't know if Lara or Aditya was your mentor, but you feel free to tell what it was like.
It was kind of both. So I started out with Lara for the initial induction, and then Aditya was my mentor throughout the rest of it. It's hard to think of something specific because I think the mentors are kind of this omnipresent assistants throughout the entire program. And whenever you have an issue, you can always come to them. They're always really friendly. They're always really welcoming. And I remember when we were submitting deliverables such as the elevator pitch, I could come to Aditya for feedback, and he would tell me, okay, I think this and this could be improved. And then I would work through it and then submit it again. And then he would, if there was any more feedback, he would let me know. But it's that constant iterative process that allows you to really refine your work. I think bouncing ideas off people who have more experience is a great way to better your own skill.
Absolutely. I think that was probably the intention when the intern mentor role was introduced, to have that kind of guidance and support system for interns. Like you all echoed how intense the 10 weeks looks like when you start off the project, and to have someone guiding, or to have that confidence, I can go ask my question and I can get help. I think that kind of helps a lot when you go through those 10 weeks, to have that guidance and support system as well. So we are almost reaching our time. I think I probably have a quick answer to this. I'll go through all of you. Just one last question. How has your internship experience influenced your career path or any decisions that you're moving forward? Let's have a quick round answering that question. So let's start off with Rahul.
Quick answer. I think that the internship has reinforced my confidence in this kind of career choice. I think it emphasizes a lot on project building, and that's something that I find really enjoyable. So that's something I'd like to continue with in my career.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rahul. Aditya?
It's very, very influential. So I start my research based on the internship in cybersecurity, and then I interested the honors and then PhD. Afterwards, I joined the mentorship for teaching. So because I want to be a lecturer, so it's like sequential, but in a good way, and it's moving forward throughout the career. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Aditya. Emily?
Yeah, so I think being an intern definitely made me much braver in my research. I think I'm now much more ready to sort of jump in and get my hands dirty with a new problem, particularly if it's anything to do with HPC skills, which is good to have in my field, I think. And being a mentor, I think it's made me a much better teacher in the way I approach my sort of my tutoring and my demonstrating at uni, having sort of been through this process where I had time just to dedicate to mentoring and teaching others.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emily. Lara?
Yeah, so with me, I think it was really exciting for me to try out the computational side of biochemistry. And I realized that I really enjoyed kind of working on a project all by myself. So that definitely made up my mind. And I think I'm going to stay in academia, at least for a little while now.
Excellent. Prachi?
Yep. So like Rahul said, reinforced my I guess wanting to still pursue mechatronics. And now I guess more computer science side of mechatronics, and obviously it fueled my passion for space even more. So yeah, it solidified my decision to stay on the path that I am on. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And finally, Edric.
Well, I'd say the internship led me to a PhD that I've found to be very rewarding. And then the mentorship experience, I think, filled in like the other half of the sort of research skills you need, right, to be impactful as a member in a research group. And I think sort of an effective, I hope, teacher, right, when the lecturing I've got to do since then. And it sort of really has helped me to orient the professional and sort of personal skills that I've grown over the course of the PhD. And there's a lot of uncertainty when you're finishing a PhD and going out into the world. But I think because of my experience, the internship and mentorship, I'm feeling far more confident and excited about my future than I would be otherwise.
Oh, thank you. How fantastic is that? I think I've been part of this internship, running this for a few years, but in that period, what I've seen is this is the kind of same sentiments echoed by most of the interns that you talk to. Either it reinforces what they had questions about, or it encourages them to take that next step if they were unsure, and definitely builds their confidence. And shows other pathways and new avenues to explore, and not to be afraid, like Emily said, build that confidence and try out things. So amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It was really valuable to have different perspectives as an intern, as an intern mentor, what the internship is like and how it has influenced or affected your decisions and your life as a whole. So thank you for taking time and participating in this discussion. And I hope you continue to be part of the Pawsey family, and hopefully see you again as mentors in the next internship.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Shadow.
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Thank
Thank you so
Have a
much.
you.
good evening.
Awesome.
Thanks. Bye.
See you.
See you.